Ever since I got into the RC hobby, it's been my dream to 3D print my own RC plane. So when I saw this file for only $14 on Colts 3D, I just couldn't resist the urge to print it myself. So I saved up for a few months and got all of the parts necessary to start the journey that was building this RC plane. Once I got all the parts printed out, the next step was masking and painting up the plane. I was going for a U2 Vertigo paint scheme, since the name of this plane is the Vertigo, and U2 has a song of the same name. I got the second coat finished on the wings. I got the masking tape removed. It's kind of rough, but luckily the look I'm going for is kind of like that, so it'll manage. I got the canopy painted. Now the next step was assembly, but this ended up being a lot harder than I thought it would be, because the CA activator that I had bought was actually a primer and not an accelerator, as I had initially thought. This meant that I had to wait for the CA glue to dry manually, which ended up with a lot of weak glue bonds. Unfortunately, this caused a problem later on, which you'll see. So this is going to be the first power-up of the Vertigo. We don't have the control surfaces in yet, but we do have all of the electronics. Alright, we're binding it up. Alright, this is going to be the first flight of the Vertigo. Before we fly it, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to hold this. I mean, there's a launcher thing here, so I guess I just like... There we go, that's good. As I exited the first turn into a high-speed pass, I quickly noticed something was off. The wings started fluttering, and as you can see, it didn't end very well. Oh my god! Oh my god! Whoa! Here's where the plane hit the ground. You can see it broke into a few thousand pieces, and although we did our best to clean it up, there were quite a few microscopic chunks of plastic left over when we were done. So the cause of the crash was my poor assembly skills and the fact that I didn't have CA accelerator. So essentially, when I would glue the pieces together, I tried to tape them together, but they wouldn't stay together quite as well as I would have hoped. So there were some parts that weren't quite attached properly, including one of the wings. But I thought it would hold, but the plane was faster than I thought it would be, so it ended up going so fast that the wings started fluttering and eventually just ripped right off and the plane just went straight into the ground. Here's what the Vertigo looked like after we somewhat put it back together. Luckily for you guys, I don't give up that easily, so I spent the next month building an entirely new one. Here we go. We've already done all the pre-flight checks. Alright, we're up. I should have added more bank to that. It's a little bit unstable. Probably there's some wind or something. But so far, it's not falling apart, which is better than I can say for the last one. We got a little truck coming, so we're gonna avoid that. I'll put it into another turn. Let's see if we can get a low pass. Not high speed low, because last time we went fast, the plane obliterated. So, okay, we got something to be backing up. Ask some questions, hopefully not be a Karen. What?
Did you build that yourself?
Yeah, I 3D printed it.
My uncle used to do that kind of stuff. That's a pretty sick one.
All right. Woo! See ya.
Nice.
Thanks. Wow, that was almost the end of it. Almost ran it straight into a traffic cone. So it doesn't fly that great. And I think that's because I have too much bank limits on the aileron, or maybe I'm just being too scared about pulling G's, but it doesn't like to turn very well. But yeah, I think that's just a me problem. It does fly great. It's pretty fast. It's not falling apart, of course. Let's get started with some landing approach, because we are using a 100C battery, so those do tend to drain pretty quickly. And it is also running on 4S, which 4Ss also tend to drain more quickly than 3Ss. So we're just gonna get a nice landing approach here. It's still going very fast, as you can see. And it's not the most stable plane in the air, but it does fly pretty well. I would say if you want to 3D print a jet, this is definitely a great option. I mean, I haven't had any other experiences with these, but this one's flying pretty great. Yeah, I think we're gonna, maybe I'll switch the gyro off for a second, see if I can get a roll out of it. There, I've done a roll. You satisfied? We're gonna land it now. Too scared of this thing. All right, yeah, it has very poor turning with safe on. It seems to want to turn to the right far more than it wants to turn to the left. So here we go, coming in pretty hot. It is a jet, and it doesn't like to turn left at all, like at all. This is full left right now. Oh, car coming. Run and get it. And we've broken it a little bit. Yeah, flies great. Don't land it on gravel driveways with big potholes. I'd recommend maybe a football field, soccer field, or just, you know, a designated RC runway made out of like something more rubbery and smoother.